What's there to look for at the 2023 WNBA AllStar Game? Phoenix beat writer at the Next, Jesse Morrison, is here to chat all things AllStar Game, from the game itself to all the other festivities in Las Vegas and his predictions for what's to come.
Ogunbowale for the win. Good!
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball.
Hello and happy Friday. You are locked on to women's basketball. I'm Natalie Heavren, and I'm a features writer and the Atlantic 10 beat reporter for the Next. Thanks for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Women's Basketball is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Today, we'll be chatting all things All-Star Game, from getting you ready to the game itself to the events later today and all of Jesse's All-Star Weekend predictions. Joining me today is Jesse Morrison, who covers the Phoenix Mercury for the Next and will be one of 3 people from the Next live in Las Vegas for the All-Star Game. A little bit more about the Next Hoops. If this is your first time listening to Locked On Women's Basketball, we have over 100 reported pieces every single month, 12 months out of the year. We have a beat reporter on every single WNBA team. Jesse will be joined by Aces beat writer Matthew Walter. And then LA Sparks beat writer Dave Yapkowitz will also be there. They're going to be giving you Locked On Shorts all weekend long out of Vegas, so make sure to get your YouTube subscriptions. You can be alerted every time one of those drops. And they'll also be reporting throughout the weekend in Vegas. $9 a month, $72 a year, all at thenexthoops.com. So, Jesse, this All-Star Game is going to be in primetime on ABC, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What does that mean for the growth of the All-Star Game?
It's awesome. I mean, it's going to have the WNBA on a Saturday night, prime time. I think they should do this with the regular season games as well. I think it would be great to have an ABC Saturday night, kind of like the NBA does, on Saturday night. So I think, this will kind of be the biggest thing going on. I can't think of any other sporting events on Saturday night that are going to be, going on this week other than, regular season baseball. So it's on ABC, over broadcast channel. So I think, this is just a big opportunity for people to see all the stars of the WNBA, all these great players that, maybe some people haven't heard of, go out there and do their thing in prime time. And I hope it shows the league that, hey, we can do this, do more prime time, big weekend games going forward.
And how do you think, you touched on this a little bit, but how do you think it's going to help continue to grow the WNBA and women's basketball?
I mean, again, you're going to have people that are just flipping through the channels, bored on a Saturday night, and they're going to come upon this game most likely. And, they might be introduced to some players that they've never heard of before. And, then they might be, wanting to check out future games moving forward, either nationally or locally. And so, I just think it gives a lot more exposure to the league. And, the league still needs more exposure, moving forward.
Next, let's run through the rosters, though the captains are the same. Brianna Stewart and her team will be looking for revenge against A'ja Wilson and her team. Okay, so All-Star draft went down, ended with Team Wilson's selecting Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Aaliyah Boston, Arike Ogunbowale, Kelsey Plum, Alicia Gray, Alyssa Thomas, Cheyenne Parker, DeWanna Bonner, and Elena Deladon was selected last, but will not be playing and was replaced with Ryan Howard. Team Stewart selected Brittany Griner, Jewel Lloyd, Satu Sabali, Nneka Ogwumike, Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Ezzy Magagor, Nafisa Collier, Kelsey Mitchell, and Kalia Copper. With those rosters in mind, who are you excited about seeing play?
Well, obviously, and coming as the Phoenix Mercury beat reporter, I think it's going to be great to have BG back in this All-Star game. I think it's it's going to be another great moment and a season of great moments for her being welcomed back. From her wrongful detainment in Russia. So I think it'll hopefully be a sellout crowd, and it'll be a good ovation for her, and it'll be a much happier event than last year when there was obviously that big void of her being there. So I'm excited to see her in the All-Star game and out there. If she plays, she left the game on Tuesday in Vegas against the Aces in the fourth quarter, went back to the locker room, came back out, just sat on the bench. She didn't come back in the game. So that, just keep an eye on that. Haven't gotten any updates as far as like her status, if she's going to be out or whatever. So hopefully she's good to go, because that's going to be a really good moment. And then, I'm just excited to see, I didn't get the opportunity to cover the Aces when they were in Phoenix, because it was one of those camp games and I had my day job. So I'm just really excited to see, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, the aces that have been just insane this year, and were great last season. I'm excited to see them play. Then I'm very excited, of course, to see Brianna Stewart. I haven't seen her play in a few seasons, so it'll be nice to get to see her play again. So, I'm excited for it. I'm glad that at least most of the players are healthy. I'm very much disappointed that Lena Deladon's going to be out. She's my favorite player to watch in the league. Love the way she plays. Love her, free throw ability. It's unmatched by anybody that's probably ever played the game. So that's going to be a bummer not seeing her out there. But those other storylines that I talked about, I think will be really fun to see out there on the court.
What do you think we'll see out of each team on Saturday night?
I think that both teams will, they're not going to give their 100% all. It's not going to be like a regular season game out there, because, it is the All-Star game. There'll be a lot of, just kind of fun moments that you see in All-Star games, players joking with each other, that kind of thing. And then, as the game goes on, hopefully it's close. And if you see it close, toward the end, I think both of the teams kind of turn on the jets and play for pride a little bit, and which All-Star squad can win in the end. So I think that'll be it'll be fun. Once the game moves along in its process.
So Jesse, what team do you think is going to pull out the win on Saturday night?
This is tough because you got one team that has 4 Las Vegas Aces, and they play together all the time, and they're 17-2, and they're the defending champions. But on the other side, you have the best player in the world, and Brianna Stewart. But I gotta go with the team with the 4 Aces players: Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson. I mean, they play together all the time. They're the best team in the league. Having those 4 players on one team with a bunch of other All-Stars that are really good, I see that I think they're gonna win for sure.
And who is your MVP prediction of the All-Star game?
Ooh, I don't know how possible this is. I'm not going to pick someone from the losing team. I'm going to go Jackie Young. I've been really high on Jackie Young this season. Her percentages are off the charts, like unbelievable percentages. From 3, from 2. I'm going to go Jackie Young for MVP. I think that's kind of a little bit of a surprising pick, but I think she's going to have a really good game on Saturday.
Coming up next, we'll get into the skills contest and the 3-point contest and what to expect from them. Today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Summer is here. It's hot, especially in Phoenix and Las Vegas as well. So it's time to pull out your Bird Dogs out of your closet. Bird Dogs are stretch khaki shorts that are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. They fit way better than regular shorts that are made out of a stiff and restricting cotton. Bird Dogs fix this issue by inventing their cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. Even better, Bird Dogs uses anti-stink, sweat-wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. Bird Dogs are great. I've gotten them as gifts for my brothers, my dad, my fiance. So go to birddogs.com/lockedonnba for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/lockedonnba for a free Yeti-style tumbler. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you. Thanks for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. So there's going to be a skills contest and a three-point contest happening later today. The rosters for both of these events were announced earlier this week, with the three-point contest roster dropping less than 36 hours before the event itself. So, what is this new format for the skills competition? And the roster was released a little bit earlier in the week, I believe on Tuesday.
Well, you're going to have, and this is from the WNBA's website. So this is for the skills challenge. It's going to be a teams. There's going to be 4 teams of 2 players. The teams compete one at a time. Both players from each team compete in a relay. The first player must complete the course. There's a 25-foot chest pass at a target from the baseline. Then you got to complete the pass to move on, or you've got 3 valid attempts. Then you dribble down the court through 4 pylons, including the 2023 Kia EV6. So they're going to have a car on the court here. Then short shot in the lane, move on after a make or 3 valid attempts. Left corner 3-point shot, move on after a make or 3 valid attempts. Then you're going to dribble to the opposite basket, make a basket, dunk, layup, jump shot, etc. Second player starts when they either rebound the previous player's shot or receive a pass from the previous player after the made basket. First round order of competition will be determined by the WNBA. The 2 teams with the fastest times advance to the final round. And then from there, I guess they just compete again over. Yeah, I think it's just you compete again, basically the same course. So, yeah, should be fun. I'm not a huge skills challenge fan, but I do like this format. I think it'll be funny to see a car on the court. But anything for those advertising dollars for sure. So yeah, I mean, teams, you got Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum teammates, Alicia Gray, Cheyenne Parker teammates, Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot teammates, Arike Gumwale, and Satsu Sabali teammates. So it's 4 teams of 2, and they're all made up of players from each team is teammates. So that'll be cool, I think, to see as well.
Yeah, I really like that it's teammates. I don't know if that's something that they'll stick with, but I'm also excited to see this new format and see if it works. And moving on to the 3-point competition, now that we know who's going to be in it, who are you excited to watch for?
3-point contest. Dejanay Carrington, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Mitchell, Arike Gumwale, Sammy Whitcomb, Jackie Young. Those are your competitors. First off, I think that if you shoot below 30% from 3, you shouldn't be allowed in this event. I think they need to mandate that rule. Sorry, Arike. I know you're a great player and everything, but I think the rule should be 35% and above. And I think you've got to have a certain amount of attempts. I don't know what number that is, but like Dejanay Carrington has 14 threes on 36 attempts all season. So I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like you've got to have a certain amount of attempts to be in this contest. But that being said, I think that Sabrina Ionescu is going to sweep both events. I think she and Courtney Vandersloot are going to take down the skills challenge together. I think that's a really good pairing. They're basically 2 point guards playing together in that event. So I think that gives them an advantage over the other 3 squads. And then I think, she likes the big stage. So I'm going to say that, and she's shooting 45% from 3 this year. That's second best in this competition. So I'm going to go Sabrina to win the 3-point shootout, and her team with Courtney Vandersloot to win the skills challenge as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. There are definitely going to be some busy people tomorrow night ahead of the AllStar game. But I'm excited to see the 3-point competition. Excited to see the revamped skills contest. If you could add anything, whether it be a new event to kind of the pre-AllStar game festivities, or make any modifications, is there any change that you would make?
Well, I got 2 things. So I think they should have a horse event. Yes. I think that would be super fun, and like allow the players to use like anywhere in the arena. Like if they want to take a shot from like the concourse and try to have that work, like I think that would be so fun. And it would, they'd also be basically mixed in with the fans, and that would be a great experience for the fans. Obviously, you have security there and everything. But like, I think that would be super fun. And, it would show how much skill these players have, and, the kind of shot that they can make. And then they've got to make sure that they're promoting this event a little bit more. Announcing the names for the 3-point shootout the day before the contest, like the WNBA has got to make sure that, it's out like at least a week in advance, so that they're able to hype it up and, put it out on their social media channels and everything, and maybe make a commercial for it. You can't miss this. And then I don't really understand the 4 p.m. Eastern time start on a Friday. Like this, I feel like it's better. I feel like the 3-point shootout's better either at halftime of the game, or, and now that it's in prime time, why not just do everything on Saturday regarding, all of these events? Because, again, the players aren't going to be going too hard in the game. So it's not like it would be that big of a deal for them to do a 3-point shootout or a skills competition before the All-Star game. So those are just some of my thoughts that I think would make the events a little bit better, but that's just me. I don't run the league. I don't make the decisions. So, but hey, if anybody is hearing me, I think they're good ideas.
Yeah, I think the WNBA has been experimenting in recent years with the All-Star game. So who knows? Maybe next year we'll see Jesse's All-Star game wishes come true with a horse event. I think that would be really fun, sort of reminiscent of the event that we saw pretty early on in the COVID pandemic. So maybe we'll see that next year or year after, who knows? Coming up next, we'll discuss Jesse's All-Star game predictions and more. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Take your first swing at betting MLB on FanDuel and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right, just bet $20 and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you can spend betting everything from the money line to the over or under to who you think is going to get the first home run. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Plus, when you win, you can get paid instantly. There's no better place to bet on MLB than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So sign up today and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get up to $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. So, Jesse, you're heading to Vegas. What are you most excited about?
I'm just excited. I've never been to an All-Star weekend in any sport. So I'm just excited to see, who's out there. When I went to cover the Brittany Griner's first regular season game back, it was cool to see, to be in LA and see all the celebrities that came out. So I'm excited to see, who comes out to the game. I know that NBA Summer League is going on right now, so you'll probably see a lot of NBA guys there, so that'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, I think just kind of the whole event, like I've never experienced it before, to kind of see, all these stars play at the same time is going to be really cool. It's the best of the best, maybe the best, teams that this league has ever seen, play in an all-star game. You've got players that are either on their way to becoming all-time greats or already all-time greats. So just to have that the collection of those great athletes all together on the floor at the same time, it's gonna be super fun. And then I love the 3-point shootout. So I'm excited to watch that, cover that. I'll have the story about that, sights and sounds from 3-point shootout and the skills contest. So make sure to check that out at the next.
So last year, the All-Star Game had, I'll pull up the exact number, but approximately 1 million points. Team Wilson won 134 to 112. Do you think there's going to be that much offense in this season's All-Star Game?
Yes, and I could see it even being more offense than that, just with the way that these players are playing this season and the type of offense that we've seen this season. We've seen some great offense. When you have Brianna Stewart out there, who just seems, I know she hasn't done this, but it seems like she drops 40 points every night. I think that you might see it reach 140. One of the teams reach 140. So yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening for sure.
And I have to ask, as someone who does not thrive in the summer, what are you planning to do to beat the heat? Or is it something you're used to coming from Phoenix?
I've never gotten used to it. I hate it. It's awful. But just you got to drink a lot of water. That's all I gotta say. You got to wear your sunscreen. It's, for anybody that's watching this and is coming out here, after watching this, just be prepared. Like, if you think that you've had enough water, you haven't. And just bring water, buy water. I have a half-gallon like canister thing that I use. And so yeah, it's different. It's a different kind of heat. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still in the process of seeing who, if I'm going to be able to get to the orange carpet. So I'm not sure if that's outside or inside. But if it's outside, I'm planning on wearing a suit, so that's not going to be fun. But you got to do what you got to do, because I don't want to feel like I'm underdressed with, everybody coming out here, probably wearing these like super fashionable outfits. I can't be out here in a polo and shorts. So I've got to at least look somewhat like I belong there.
And do you have any other All-Star weekend predictions?
I think the trophy's going to be bigger for the MVP. It was too small last year. It's going to be bigger this year. I just have a hunch that it's going to be bigger. So
well, we'll have to see, and I hope that's true. You mentioned you'll be writing out of the skills competition and the 3-point shooting contest. What other stories or content can we look out for you coming out of All-Star Weekend?
So, as the Phoenix Mercury beat reporter, I will be writing on Brittany Griner's return to the All-Star Game, and the reaction from the other players that she's going to be there and everything. So that'll either be after the game or Saturday before the game. It just depends on what I'm feeling after talking to the players, and if I feel like I need to write it after the game. But expect it after the game. That's probably when it'll happen, either Saturday night or Sunday. So.
And thank you for joining me today, Jesse. For those that aren't watching and can see your Twitter handle, maybe listening on Spotify or another podcast app, where can the people find you and your work?
At Morse Code, MORRSCODE _ on Twitter. Hopefully that works through the weekend. You can find me on Threads now at Morse Code no _ if both of those break, I will be on my Facebook page, which is I believe it's facebook.com/Jesse Morrison 6. So if that's only if things break, and then of course at the Next you can find me, find my work. The Twitter handle is the Next Hoops on Twitter, and I believe that is the same one on Threads if you're using Threads now.
And I believe Instagram as well.
Correct. Yep. Correct. And then Locked On Women's Basketball as well. I will be, doing shorts all weekend from the various events, showing off the sights and sounds of the All-Star Weekend in fabulous Las Vegas.
I'm excited to see it, and I know our viewers are as well. Thanks for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. And for you everydayers, make sure to tune in tomorrow ahead of the AllStar Game to hear from our WNBA draft experts, who I always learn so much from.